In the previous video, we learned about HTTP. We learned about request, response, headers and bodies, and status codes. In this video, we want to dig deeper into different HTTP methods. When you want to request for some information over the internet to some server, you'll use the GET method. When you use the GET method, you get some information back. Now, the way this is structured is that you have a server, and the server is actually connected to a database. And let's imagine that the database has multiple tables, like the users table, the products table. And now the user said, I want everything from the products table. So the user will get back a collection or an array of all the different objects of all the products in the products table. Now you don't want to get all the products every single time. The databases and the tables can become really big, and you don't want all the information all of the time. Instead, you want only some specific information in most of the times, right? So what if the user wants to view just one product, which is with the ID is equal to 2? Will you then get all of the products from the products table? The answer is no, you won't do that. You'll just get the product with ID 2. And the GET method can actually facilitate that. So we have GET by ID, where you just pass the ID of the product that you want. So it'll be /2, for example, which will get us the product with the ID 2. And it'll send back an object to us where the ID will be 2. And let's say you'll have more fields, like name will be TV. Now, when the user wants to add something, like let's say a new product with ID equal to 3 in the product catalog, he'll need to send a request with the post method. And he'll have to send the request body, and the body will have the entire object for the new product with ID 3, and let's say the name as refrigerator. So the user now makes a post request to the server with this body, and the server is basically responsible for adding this new entry into the database in the products table. So now the products table will have 3 products, one with ID 1, one with ID 2, and one with ID 3. And the third one is the one that we just added with the help of the post method. Now, if the user wants to update some information in the database, he has to go to the server, but to update the information, he'll use a different method called as the put method. I just want to take a quick break to tell you something important. Now, there are lots of courses for system design on the internet that teach you the basics of system design. And even when it comes to breaking down problems, they'll show you basic problems like WhatsApp, like Uber, like Netflix, breaking down these systems. But what about breaking down OpenAI, Claude, Hugging Face, Cursor, which are the kind of platforms that you'll be expected to build in 2025 and beyond? The market has moved on rapidly, but the system design content on the internet is stuck in 2015. This is why I've built the perfect 3 months advanced system design cohort, which is meant for people with some years of experience in the industry who are kind of comfortable with system design concepts, but now need to take it to the next level. Now, if you think you're the right fit, there's a form in the comments and in the description of this video. Fill it up and we'll book some time with you. Now let's get back to the video. So what the put method does is it updates the information of a particular field. And the way to use that is you use the same thing, /ID. So let's say you want to change the product with the ID equal to 3. And the ID will be equal to 3, but the name will change from refrigerator to washing machine. And you'll send this completely new object via the put method to the server. The server will go ahead and then change that information in the database. Now, along with put, you also use another method called patch, which is supposed to be more efficient than the put method. Because when you use the patch method, you don't send all of the fields of the new object that you want to change in the database. You only send some of the fields. So let's imagine that in this object, there were not just ID and name. There were like many more fields that had description of the washing machine, the year that it was built or manufactured, last serviced. So many more fields, right? Now, when you use put, it's not very efficient because you have to send this entire object again, and this entire object will change in the database. With patch, you can just send the ID and the name, which is the field that you want to change, and only this field will be updated in the database. With put, the problem is that every single time when you send the new object, if you make a mistake when sending the new object, or by mistake you end up changing any of the fields, or even if there's a typo, that will now get reflected in the database as well. Whereas with patch, since you're sending only the fields you want to change, you're safe because you don't end up making mistakes in the other fields that don't have to be changed. Now, in your collection of products, you have 3 products, right, in this collection. 1, 2, and 3. What if you wanted to remove the third product with ID 3? The way to do that is to use the delete method. So the user makes a HTTP request with the delete method and sends the particular ID, and the product with ID 3 gets deleted from the database. This means that HTTP, as we learned in the previous video, is not just for requesting information and rendering it in the front end. It can actually interact more with the information or make the server do things in the database. So you can not only view information, you can view particular information, you can add new information, you can delete the information, or you can update the information. You can do all of this with the help of HTTP. This actually gets used in something called as REST API. And we'll be learning about that in an upcoming video soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.